and so it is. Amen. Whether this is your first time here or you've been coming for many years, we're so glad that you came to join us this morning. So this is the time to make the announcement to silence your cell phones, and we are going to have the chaplains come forward and pray the invocation.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Chris,
And I'm Mary Ellen.
and we're your prayer chaplains for today. We're here for you. If there's something that you'd like to pray with us on or bring to prayer, whether it's a challenge in your life or something you'd like to celebrate, come on up after the service, and we're here for you. So if you join us now, as we use the words of the invocation written by Charles Fillmore.
I am now in the presence of your being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I acknowledge your presence and your power, O Blessed Spirit. In your divine wisdom, now erase my human limitations, and from your pure substance of love, bring into manifestation my world according to your perfect law.
The daily word for today is inspiration. I am grateful to those who inspire me. I admire and respect the sacred calling and work of innovative and groundbreaking thinkers and leaders. The work they have done to forge new paths and lead humanity in new directions inspires me. I've heard inspiration described as the breath of God, an inner quickening. This quickening is mine as I forge new paths and boldly journey forward, creating my life anew. To keep divine inspiration flowing, I make time to rest in contemplative stillness. I begin each day with a prayer for a receptive mind and heart. I pray for the courage and clarity to release my rigid expectations. I live in a state of gratitude for the inspiration that flows from God and the opportunity to share it. And the Bible verse, then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. And that's from Genesis 2:7. And now let us prepare for meditation.
gentle breeze of spirit. And be in this clear, cool place in peace. I claim this moment for my own. I claim it for the space that I connect with my divine creator. I open my heart and allow it to welcome in new insights, new wonderings, new dreams, new ideas. I allow them to flow into me easily, without effort. And I listen to what they have to say. Allow them to change me, to hold me, to grow me, to nurture my very being into every cell of who I am, and yet also look deeper, even more, for the presence behind them. Reaching for that peace, that spirit that speaks them. Allow it to just be in me here and now. As I allow this space to grow in me, this presence to know me, to hold me, to show me who I am, I connect with its name. For the next moment with me, say the name that is in all names for God, the Ah sound. With me, let's say Ah. To ideas, to solutions, to understanding. this room, open your eyes, wiggle your toes, smile and glow and show all the good that you have. That's in you, that's about you, and is operating through you. And so it is. Amen.
Assistant and meeting some friends I haven't seen for years. My goodness, how good to be back here too. Thank you. Great morning.
It is a great morning.
Wow. Are you hearing us okay?
Yes.
So, welcome to Unity Northwest. We're grateful to be your guests here. I'm Reverend Mary Patrice Wendt, and
I'm Reverend Tom Lund. It is a joy to be here today. Thank you, everyone.
we're visiting from Unity Spiritual Center of Woodstock, so it's nice to see another part of town. So as many of you are aware, we ended this past week with a very emotion-producing event. There was this court ruling that concluded that the governor's mask mandate for schools had to end. We also heard that at the end of this month in February that the mask for most environments on the 28th will end as well. So no matter what side you may find yourself on in this topic, or how passionate you feel about it, one thing is clear, and it's the name of our talk today. Be clear why you are here. The thing we can be clear about is we're in this together. And why are we here? How do we show up in this? How do we do this time? It's very charged with ideas and perspectives and opinions. As someone who works in the school district, I have ideas and perspectives, of course, as many of you I'm sure do as well. The schools tend to be a petri dish for all of what's going on in the bigger experience, the bigger environment. We have kids that are getting sick, that are out, then there's close contacts, they're out, they're in, they're online, they're in person. We don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. And then, of course, you have the teachers that are in, they're out, they're exposed, they're sick. So the amount of change on a daily basis is incredible. How do we manage this and keep some kind of consistency? How do we move through this experience with some kind of level of peace and understanding? What do we do to walk forward? Using our belief system, using what we know works for us. How can we do that? Does anybody else struggle with this besides me? Just talking about it gets the angst going. It's like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to have a computer with a student on it tomorrow or if I'm going to be with them in person. It seems to me that biblical times experienced similar situations where there were dilemmas like this. In fact, in Exodus chapter 3, verse 7 through 8, we read, I have observed the misery of my people who are in Egypt. I have heard their cry on account of their taskmasters, and indeed, I know their sufferings, and I have come down to deliver them from the Egyptians. Isn't it similar to the things that we're dealing with in our minds, the thoughts we're having about all of these events that are turning and rolling and consistently moving around in our heads and keeping us up at night, keeping us up all day long, keeping us up, period. In the Revealing Word, written by one of our founders, Charles Fillmore, he says that Egypt and Egyptians represent mental bondage, sense consciousness, and subjective thoughts or subjective consciousness. Isn't that what we're experiencing right now? Like we're stuck on these topics that continue to hold our attention. The verse goes on to say that I have come to deliver them from the Egyptians and to bring them up out of the land to a good broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And I just think about that in my mind. I see the milk pouring out of the pitcher and the honey just dripping and golden in the light. You just see it crystalline through the light, just shining through. And I think about, wow, what a nice smooth substance, something that would cover things with rough edges and smooth them out. And I know if there was a biblical writer now, they would include chocolate in that. Don't you see it? The commercials where the chocolate is just pouring, and it's just this river of gold and brown sweetness of that flow, the sweetness of living, where is that right now? How do we get to that right now? Well, if I were to talk to Michael Jackson, he would say in his song, we start with the man or woman in the mirror. I am blessed when I leave Egypt behind. More on that later.
It's funny, our topic of our talk today is be clear why you're here, and I took a whole different spin on it, which happens almost every week. And I was thinking, I'm unclear which religious holiday would be deemed most significant. Well, what makes a religious holiday most significant? Well, perhaps the degree of prayer associated with it, the degree of planning, the degree of preparation, both within your spiritual community and your personal life. And, with Christmas, we celebrate Advent for 24 days leading up to Christmas Day, during which the excitement builds, and some of us grew up with and may still utilize the Advent calendar where every day you lifted it up or turned it out or something.
And there's chocolate.
And is there chocolate? You see a pattern here, do you? In many churches, of course, during the Advent season, offer Advent service during that time. So there's plenty of prayer and preparation, no doubt. And then think of the special planning and preparation that goes on at home, and thinking of guests you're going to have and what are they going to serve and those kinds of things. So it's a pretty significant holiday for sure. And then thinking of Easter and Lent. In fact, Lent begins this year on March 2nd, culminating on April 14th, Monday, Thursday, the day before Good Friday. Boy, talk about prayer and preparation and special services, and food planning, so much building in anticipation with Easter too. What will I wear on Easter? That's important to think of too, isn't it? My goodness. And you know what I was thinking? If you use that criteria as your measuring stick, then quite possibly the most significant religious holiday there is Super Bowl Sunday. But I said prayer. Prayer? Are you kidding? Believe me. Anytime people are betting money, they're praying. Something like $60 million was bet this year on the Super Bowl. You want to bet people were praying? And preparation, house parties. Oh my God, there is so much preparation that goes into the house parties for Super Bowl Sunday, right? In fact, Super Bowl Sunday, I recall, is kind of a lightly attended day in church. And I'm going to say, so are you going to be here next week? No, not next week. It's Super Bowl Sunday. The Super Bowl is until 5 o'clock. The service is at 10. What's the problem? Oh, there's so much to do. Visualizing who's going to win. What's the party going to look like? In fact, back in pre-COVID days at Unity Spiritual Center Woodstock on Super Bowl Sunday, our youth ministry, would sell as a fundraiser Super Bowl treats, to take home and serve to your guests. Similar to the cookie walks offered at Christmas time. So I'm wondering, maybe with Super Bowl we might be in bondage to some sense consciousness here too. But whatever you choose as the most significant religious holiday, including facetiously Super Bowl Sunday, one thing is true for every one of them, without exception. And that is, there is always the day after. The day when all the planning and preparation has come to fruition, all the money's been spent or charged, all the cleanup is in process or finished, sometimes maybe even a degree of letdown. It's all over. And maybe you'll recall other traditional events such as significant birthday parties or anniversaries or celebrations of so many sorts. There's always one sure thing you can count on, and that's the day after. It's kind of like the biggest fireworks display you have ever seen in your life. The biggest booms, the biggest bangs, and they always have this finale where just things are going off like crazy, and then the last shell explodes. And all that's left is smoke. It's all over. Kind of like the day after. The day after is that time in our lives where a portion of the structure we knew is gone now. No more planning, no more preparation, it's done. So the question is, now what? The day after carries significant importance to it. I'll share more on that in a moment or two.
As true students, we know that our thoughts and actions create. And just like the holidays and events you mentioned, we can prepare ourselves for events that come up like those of this week. So let's be clear. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So why are we here? Just to have this experience? We are here to create and demonstrate. What does that look like for you? In Wayne Dyer's book, Manifest Your Destiny, he gives some ideas. He says the first one is become aware of your highest self. Take a deep breath, disconnect from those thoughts that are running around in your head just rampant. Take a pause before you respond or react. The next one is to trust yourself so that you trust the wisdom that created you. There is a wisdom. You're here. You're a miracle. It can be trusted. You can rely on it. Then realize you are more than an organism in an environment. Wow, that one hit me, especially right now with all that's going on. I am more than an organism in an environment. I am more than one little piece in the whole tapestry of everything. Know that you can attract to yourself what you desire. Do I truly want masks or something else? Or do I want health or something else? What is it I truly want in this time? Get to the seed of what you truly, truly want. And then you're no longer on this side or that. Because the seed that you truly want oftentimes is what everyone wants. And then we're operating from a oneness perspective. Then honor your worthiness to receive. Give yourself permission to have what I want, no matter what the outer appearances are. I can tell you sometimes that working in the schools, there are conversations going on, and yet I don't want to get into that conversation because my feeling is that it's bringing up angst more than it's bringing up peace. But I have to make a courageous decision to step away because it's so easy to be swept up in the talk, the conversation, the feeling, because there's a community in that experience. There's community in feeling like we're one, we understand, I'm not alone. But the truth is, you are not alone. And when you go for the seed of what you truly want, you get the peace of what you truly want. His last thought is to connect to the divine source with unconditional love. Connecting, bringing in, meditating, feeling that love that is always there will help you to be in the flow, in that melted gooey chocolate of life. The sweet flow of thoughts and feelings and peace and ideas that we're looking for anyway. Exodus chapter 4, verse 8 through 9 goes on to say, the Lord said to Moses, if they, the Egyptians ruling my thoughts, do not believe you or pay attention to the first miraculous sign that I send, they may believe the second. Which means God is always reaching out to connect. That God presence is always calling to you to lift you up. No matter how often those thoughts come, and you know in that Exodus experience, there was a lot of back and forth. Yep, you can go. No, you can't. Yep, you can go. Isn't that like our thinking? Yeah, I'll let you go. Oh, yeah, wow, there's a little bit of peace here. Wait a minute. Let me come bring you back. We go through that wiggle and wobble all the time. But if we continue to buy into the miracle, that peace, that feeling of forgiveness, that feeling of being clear, it will win. And as you plan your days and practice tapping into your higher self, Egypt will be released. I will be very clear about why I'm here. I am blessed when I leave Egypt behind.
I like what you brought up about Wayne Dyer. He points out, we're not just some organism sitting here. We are a spirit sitting here within this human body. And if I can be clear that my spirit is here, I can do just about anything, can't I? So, going back to my train of thought, I'm thinking of how we celebrate Easter in unity as a time of reflecting on our personal resurrection. I mean, haven't all of us been through various resurrections after some bottoms or some difficulties? And, we raised ourselves out of the tomb of loss and disappointment, and we reconnected with our Christ presence within. Great Easter service. Then the next day, it's Monday morning, it's 6 o'clock, and I got to go to work. Now what? Now what? And I think of other life events like that. Some of you here may know about perhaps retiring. Last child going off to college, or maybe the military. Much of the structure of life is gone. Now what? In considering the events I spoke of earlier and just now, many of the targets of our emotional, spiritual, and physical radar have disappeared from the screen. Now what? I think this is a time to take a page from one of my favorite books, Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles. One might think it's a book about business. I'm telling you, it is so metaphysical. It's a great, great book, The Success Principles. When structure has left, it's time to be clear why we're here, which is the title of our talk today, by no coincidence. I suggest it's always essential to be clear why we're here. Yet when we're in that void of external pressures, like all these pressures for these holidays and events, when those pressures are gone, it's doubly important to know why we're here, to be clear why we're here. Why? Because our purpose is what gives us purpose for living. So all this I've spoken of are forces outside of ourselves, influencing our lives, directing us to prepare for a special day or time. And when those outside distractions are gone, when it's the next day, that's when our internal purpose must become very alive. That's when we need to be clear why we're here is most apparent. That's what will direct us from in here instead of from the pressures out there. So a question for all of you today to ponder, why are you here on this earth? You asked the same question just a few moments ago. Why are you here? What is your purpose? Canfield shares some purpose statements in his book. One is from Robert Allen, co-author of The 1 Minute Millionaire. He says his purpose is to inspire and empower people to achieve their destiny. So when his external pressures are gone, he can say, what am I here about? That's what I'm here about. Or he quotes, I love this one, from Monty Roberts, author of The Man Who Listens to Horses. His purpose is to leave the world a better place than I found it for horses and for people too. What a nice thought. So if he's ever wondering, what is mine to do here? What is mine to do here? Hey, my mission is to make this world a better place. Our master teacher, Jesus of Nazareth, gave us some suggestions, I think. Just a couple of them are, love each other as I have loved you. How would that be for a purpose statement? I'm just going to love each other. That's all. I love you. Or become like this child. Become like a child. Spontaneous, not so worrying about what people think. Maybe let the first one who has not sinned cast the first stone. Maybe my purpose statement is to not be judging. Not be judging. So I thought I'd share with you, Canfield inspired me to create my own purpose statements. I'll share them with you just to give you some ideas. I'm not saying they should be yours. My purpose is to connect with others in a healthy, respectful manner every time. No matter whether I agree with you or not. Just connect. To create win-win wherever and whenever I can. That is probably the one that's in my mind all the time. Win-win. Whenever I deal with a service person, I look at their name tag and I call them by name. I say, thank you for your service. David, Jonathan, Heather. Always respect. Always win-win. But that means I get to decide, what do I want here? And how can I make this a win-win? What a win-win today. My God, we're here. I love speaking here. I love it. We're actually getting paid for this. And it is my hope it's a win for you to hear something today that helps you be clear why you're here. To me, that's a win-win. And the last one is for myself to be what I would like to see in you. So if I ever become critical of what I see in you, then that's me telling me, here's what I need to work on. Right? They say in 12-step, if you spot it, you got it. So for all of you here today, your assignment, should you choose to accept it, if you haven't already, I trust many of you have. If not formally, you have an idea. But at least revisit or create your life purpose statement. Be clear why you're here when the outside pressures of what you need to be doing aren't there. What would you do? Why are you here? So in closing, when we're clear why we're here, we are spiritually connected to our purpose. The influence of Egypt is simply background noise when we're clear why we're here. And while the need for it is more important the day after, during all the events leading up to whatever, all the preparation leading up to a specific event, we need to be clear why we're here during that preparation too. Otherwise, we can go off the chart crazy stress or something like that. Be clear why we're here. We escaped from our Egypt, and we will always be clear on the next phase of our journey. God bless you all, and together can we say, Namaste. Thank you.
Well, I've been asked to lead you in song, which means that you have to sing too. And especially because we don't have mics with a working battery, so sing along. I'm sure you'll recognize the song once I get it going. Oh, and the first one, which I forgot to mention before, we're going to be starting the next year of chaplain training, and would like to invite all of you to consider being a chaplain, because we could all use more prayer this year. Thank you.
So while COVID restrictions are still loosening, we continue to hold the good health of our church first and foremost. So please continue to wear your masks and take advantage of the No Hugs badge, and be respectful of others' preferences. The flowers this week were given by Dallas and Ruth to celebrate the birthdays of Dallas' sister Lorene and brother-in-law Herb. If you have something that you would like to celebrate, or just because you would like to donate flowers, you can sign up outside in the narthex, and you, of course, get to take the flowers home. We have a new inventory at the free table, so please help yourself. There's a lot of inspiring books and other items available for the taking. Remember that beginning March 6th, service will start at 10:30 a.m. Also on that first Sunday in March, we will reopen the fellowship hall for coffee, tea, and snacks. Yay! Thank you for your understanding these past months, knowing that your health was of the highest importance. Don't forget to return your annual membership forms. They're blank forms out in the foyer for your convenience. You can leave a completed form in the envelope on the small table outside the sanctuary or return them by mail. In addition to renewing your annual commitment to Unity Northwest, only members can vote to elect board members or participate in the selection of a new minister. While all are welcome, members have a weighted vote in matters related to the church operations. Remember to join Dr. Sheila Joy Wilkins on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock for meditation. Meditation is the core of Unity's teachings of spiritual growth, so come and experience the difference it can make in your mental clarity, your spiritual growth, and your overall sense of peace. Our youth ministry is in need of volunteers to help with the children. You can sign up for one Sunday a month or as many Sundays as you'd like. So please reach out to Carolyn DeNoon or contact the office if you are willing to give a little of your time to that endeavor. The final announcement today, they did that last week. There are no announcements. What? Oh, there are?
Yeah.
Give me this chance. So please come forward and give us an announcement.
Hi. The board is excited about all that we've accomplished, and we've accomplished a lot, and I thought one of the things we could do is kind of share some of those accomplishments with you, the congregation. Some of you probably figured out, but other ones you may not have. So that's why I'm here. We are still looking for at least one more person to take over the 2022 board selection. We've got one person. We're still looking for one more because we have two people that are retiring this year. So we appreciate your support. So what have we done? Well, besides twiddling our thumbs, we've done this. We opened this church on July 4th. That was a big accomplishment. We had a fall cleanup on October 23rd, and with 6 people, we managed to clean the inside of the church, but more importantly, I worked with Dallas, thank you, whoever said that, and we cleared a lot of branches that were hanging over our roof, so that they are no longer hanging over our roof. That was a big accomplishment that day. Besides that, we managed to secure Megan Madonna. We thought we had till the 21st of November that our former minister was going to cover. It turns out her last Sunday ended up being the 14th, which we didn't expect. And fortunately, Megan stood up and went ahead and did that service the 21st. And she even covered us all the way through January. If she were here, she doesn't know how much we are thankful for that. That was a big thing for this church. It brought us a lot of stability. Besides that, we were able to arrange, we couldn't do a Thanksgiving Eve service. It was just too quick, too fast, and we wanted to make sure everybody had time to prepare, but we were able to get a Christmas Eve service off. And it was a very nice service for those of us who were here. And again, another thanks to Megan who hosted it, and all the people who are, and by the way, our fine piano person here who's done a fabulous job. Thanks to the other musicians like Chris, I believe also was here. Let's talk about the lights after service. Probably one of the best things that's happened is we were recording the services so that people that could not be here could see them either on Facebook or YouTube. And I don't know if anybody knows what it's like, but those of us who recorded those services, it took an eternity to get the service to get up on the Google Drive, which we have access to. And then we could actually post it so people could see it. So fortunately, I give Elizabeth Romo a ton of credit over here. She figured out that we could live stream the services through Facebook. A lot easier process.
Beth pointed me in the direction, so
Okay.
Beth.
Brenda's idea.
Well, you both get credit because that was a huge. You understand, the people who were doing the service, who were taping it or recording it, that was a huge boulder off our shoulder. We didn't have to worry about, oh gosh, we're not going to have a service for people to see. Now we easily can have a service for everybody to see. So I'm very pleased with that. In this day and time, it's possible people would still want to see the service even if they couldn't be here today. So that was a big accomplishment. We have Creative Sounds who came in, and I don't know if you guys saw the wiring that used to be here, but it was a mess. Things were not done electrically well, where you can be fined or something like that from the city. And so they came in and they redid all the wiring. It's much better, much smoother, much nicer, cleaner. And they're still in the process of trying to get a video screen up here.
There.
Oh, it's over there. I'm sorry. I know I don't have the location down. But over here, and it'll be very professionally done, more so than it is now. Now it's really good, the people who are doing this, but it's going to be better when that comes out. And that's still in the works. And it wasn't our fault. We did what we had to do as a board. We got that worked out. Okay? We got this drape fixed a couple times. I know it doesn't look great right now, but that was a miracle for those of us who were behind the scenes. So that was something that got done. It'll have to be fixed again. I'm aware of the situation. It is funny. You guys should be laughing. That's pretty funny. Then we managed to get the service changed, which we just announced today. That happened in one meeting in February. Early in February, we had a meeting, and that changed like that. So our board is getting things done. We care about all of you. We want this place to be a place that you can connect and feel good about yourselves. And so we know there's some people who are not here because they can't make it here at 10 o'clock. It's just too early for some people. So starting in March, it'll be at 10:30. So that was another thing. As a board, we all came together and said, okay, we like this, let's do it. So your board's getting things done, and I'm excited about being on board because we are getting things done. We're not always going to do everything right away. Some things take time. Some things take legitimate, got to think it out. Okay? All right. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but the computer we were using here at this church was 20 years old. Something like that, pretty close to it. We got that replaced late last year. So now we're operating with fairly new computer. So another big accomplishment. So I just want to share those things with you. We are grateful for all your support, and anybody who's feeling the urge to step up, we certainly encourage you because there's so much more we can do than what we've done now. So there you go.
I think now it's time for
Musical mask.
I'd like to be without it. Okay. So now I think it's time to bless our offerings. We certainly are very pleased for everyone who gives in this way to help support Unity Northwest get through our transitional times. So, would you like to bless the offerings, please?
Do you have a script for this, or would you just like me to roll out? And is this first time here in a long time? So are you asked to just simply leave them in the basket?
Or donate online.
Or donate online. Okay. So I'll repeat myself. If you're here in the sanctuary, please leave your donation in the basket as you exit. If you're online, please feel free to contribute and support this ministry. After all, this ministry is in the business is in a spiritual business. So we need to pay our bills, and we have expenses too, and we need your support. And you know what the win-win is there? As you give you receive too. You increase your prosperity. I believe that with my heart. And so, let us give thanks for what is coming our way. Let us give thanks. Let us know that all of the donations we receive today are really donations of love, represented by money. And we give thanks for this love and this money that continues to perpetuate this beautiful ministry that has made a difference in so many lives and will continue to. It truly does take a village to keep us going, to keep us solvent financially. We do our spiritual work. We ask you to contribute financially, and we all come together. And we meet again, over and over again, and we are planting the acorn today that will become the giant spiritual oak that others will sit under in the future. Thank you for all you give. Thank you. And so it is. Amen.
So now let's all stand, sing.